I literally have one point I want to make this morning, and that is Head Start is not a handout, it is a hand up. It is an investment in children, families, and communities. Head Start is a holistic approach to addressing educational, social, and health needs. Head Start provides workforce support. While their children are in Head Start, that means families can go to work and become contributing, tax-paying members of our community. Early education reduces the need for social services, it lowers crime rates, and it produces a more productive workforce. Head Start also helps to decrease the likelihood of adult poverty by 23% and the dependence on public assistance by 27%. Children who attend Head Start show higher early reading and math scores. Head Start children are more likely to graduate from high school, attend college, and go on for post-secondary education and certifications. So my last point is Head Start is not a handout, it is a hand up. Head Start matters because the future of our generation of children and families and our community matters. So at this time, I would like to introduce Senator Kirsten Gillibrand, our fearless leader and one of our advocates in early childhood for children and for families.
Thank you, well said, thank you. Thank you all for being here. I want to thank Dr. Marie Cannon for her leadership and for her dedication to the next generation. I also want to recognize the Chief Early Childhood Officer, Dr. Chelsea White, who we will hear from, as well as Chief Programming Officer Brandy Haynes, as well as Councilwoman Zanetta Everhart and parent and advocate Vanessa Hall, and our Majority Leader Crystal People-Stokes. And thank you for everyone at Ferry Academy Head Start program for welcoming us. I just had the great opportunity to sit with the children. I made some heart cookies with Play-Doh. I helped a young man build a very nice house. And we talked about who had girlfriends and boyfriends at age 4, but that is the normal discussion of any pre-K classroom. We had a lot of fun, and I can tell you programs like this make all the difference for families, all the difference for a community, and the early childhood education these kids are getting will give them a lifetime of benefits, because every dollar you put into early childhood education reaps over $10 of reward in their long-term earning capacity and their opportunities they create for society, for their contributions to society. So we know these investments make a huge difference. But you also know that since taking office, President Trump has put early childhood education under attack. He's created uncertainty, chaos, and fear among the Head Start communities. He's temporarily frozen all federal grant funding that would fund programs like this, leaving these programs scrambling. Even though his freeze was officially reversed, many Head Start centers couldn't access their funds for weeks, and the administration has yet to distribute nearly $1 billion to Head Start centers across the country. Several preschools were forced to close their doors. Next, President Trump has fired staff from the Office of Head Start, the very people who are responsible for helping to run these programs smoothly. Then he closed 5 regional offices that oversee Head Start programs in 23 states, 1 here in New York. Now, a draft of the Trump administration's recent released budget proposal would eliminate funding for Head Start altogether. It's a deliberate attack on parents, on children, and on the communities that depend upon them. I've heard from many people across New York who are outraged, parents, grandparents, teachers, all telling me that Head Start is not just a lifeline, it's a promise for a brighter future for our kids and our communities and our country. Head Start helps improve students' educational attainment, allowing them to achieve higher wages, greater outcomes, and benefits for themselves and society. It also provides services and employment opportunities for parents. Here in New York, Head Start employs over 14,000 people across 721 Head Start centers, and nearly 50,000 children and families rely on these Head Start programs. One New York mom wrote to my office to say Head Start not only helped her to pursue a career as a teacher, but it also helped educate both of her children, creating a love of learning that has lasted a lifetime. Now her son is in high school, a senior, and he wants to study law. And her daughter is a high school junior who wants to become a NASA engineer. The truth is, when we invest in our kids, we put money in our pockets and we create growth for the entire society. It's why I have now sent letters to the Trump administration demanding answers and calling on the president to restore the funding cuts to the Head Start program. Now is not the time to abandon working parents, especially when the White House allegedly wants Americans to have more kids. You can't encourage families to grow while slashing the very programs that help them succeed. As a parent and a longtime advocate of early childhood education, protecting Head Start and other early childhood education programs is personal to me and is the highest priority for all of our advocacy for our young children. I will keep fighting to make sure that these vital services remain available to them and those that need them, and I will look forward to hearing from all of you and all of New York about why these programs are so important to our families. I'd now like to invite up Majority Leader Crystal Peoples-Stokes.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you so much, Senator, and thank you for coming to Buffalo and sounding the alarm about something that's so important, not just to the folks who live in Buffalo, but to the folks who live all across Western New York. Head Start is a valuable entity that families need, children need. They need to get started so that they can get through K through 12 and perhaps get through college and end up with an opportunity to have the American dream. Access to the American dream calls for education, period. And any ideas about stopping that are just mind-boggling. I will say this though, the president can make all kind of moves that he wants to, but at the end of the day, Congress is gonna have to speak. Congress is gonna have to have an opinion on this issue. And I'm so glad that we have people like Senator here. We already know where she stands. But do we know where the other congressional members stand that represent our state? I think we know where Senator Schumer stands. I know where some of them stand, but we don't know where all of them stand. Are they gonna be willing to stand up for the children of Western New York and the state of New York? I'm hoping so, and I'm hoping that people will begin reaching out to them, reminding them that this is one of the most important things. I have heard of the issues that this administration is having against higher ed. I have heard of the issues it's having with DEI, but when it starts to attack our children, that's not something to just hear about. That's something to do something about. And so we have got to get active as citizens across the state of New York, encouraging our congressional representatives to make their voices known to the president that he cannot remove funds or close Head Start. Our communities need them, our families need them, and I want to thank Senator Gillibrand again for coming to sound this alarm in such a major way. God bless you, and thank you for what you're doing. I also want to thank the leaders of the CAO Head Start. I mean, amazing what these folks do with children. I have family who literally went through Head Start and are doing so well in school now because they did have this opportunity. So thank you, ladies, for what you do. Your work is resounding and it cannot end. I will stand with you in this fight and to make sure that it doesn't end. Thank you and God bless everyone.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And I'd like to invite up our Councilwoman, Zanetta Everhard.
Thank you. Thank you, Senator. Thank you for having me and inviting me to be here. You know, this administration has gone after our educational institutions, has gone after DEI, has gone after healthcare, has gone after our libraries, and now they are attacking our children, the most vulnerable. Two statistics that I want to talk about that just underscores the need to speak out against this. 90% of the families who live here locally qualify for Head Start programs. That is a large numbers. That speaks to the need. We need Head Start programs in our community. Another statistic, nearly 50% of the households in the city of Buffalo are led by single parents. Nearly 50%. Single parents need access to Head Start programs. Without them, their children do not get the early education that they need. They cannot go to work to provide for their families. That is an attack, and I know that sometimes we like to stray away from this and saying this about this administration, but that is an attack on Black and brown people. All of those things I just listed affect Black and brown people the most, and we cannot have that. And I want to thank Senator Gillibrand for standing with us, for speaking out for us, and speaking out against this administration on these attacks on people in my community, in my district, in my neighborhood. Education has to start earlier and earlier. It needs to start way before 4 years old, right? We can't start attacking our children now. And so thank you, Senator Gillibrand, for all that you do for us.
Thank you so much, Councilwoman. I'd now like to invite out Dr. Chelsea White, the Chief Early Childhood Officer.
Thank you, Senator. I stand before you not only as the Early Childhood Chief Officer, but also as a former Head Start child, a Head Start parent, and an employee. I started in an entry-level position many years ago, but with the support of Head Start, I was able to get my associate's degree, bachelor's degree, master's degree, and now my doctorate. This is what Head Start do for our communities. For over 60 years, Community Action Organization is committed to serving low-income and at-risk children and families with compassion, with excellence, with opportunity. Today, 1 in 5 individuals in our communities that we serve are below the federal poverty guidelines. For us, 94% of our population is low income. Of that population, many receive TANF, they receive SSI, they also receive SNAP. Our children and our families face many disparities, health and education. Head Start is needed. I just wanted to really talk about what we're doing in Head Start. In Head Start, last year we served 1,200 children and families and expectant mothers. We help connect these families to dental homes, medical homes. We served over 600,000 nutritious meals. Of our population, 19% of our children receive disability services. Head Start is needed in our communities. We support more than 95% of our families enrolled. They participate in parent-teacher conferences. They participate in goal-setting opportunities, because Head Start is more than just an early childhood program. It's a family program, it's a community program. And what we've done is with the Head Start program, is we're able to help transition families out of poverty. And so we thank you for your support. We ask that together, that we expand the opportunities for eligible children, that together we support workforce that makes these critical, that do these critical work. And when I talk about our workforce, we talk about our teachers and our educators and our support staff, helping to provide living wages for them, or competitive wages, because our children in Head Start, early Head Start, deserve the best. We also want to ensure that families that leave our program have the tools that they need to not only survive, but to thrive. And so thank you for your support again.
Thank you so much. Our last speaker is Vanessa Hall, who is a parent.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Vanessa Hall, and I am speaking on behalf of the parents of CAO. As a working mother, the programs offered through CAO allow me to provide for my family. Knowing my child is in a safe, nurturing environment where he's learning and growing, it means a lot to me. These recent government changes are not just hurting the programs, they're hurting families like mine, and the other families that are in my school district. Without access to affordable early child care and support services, many of us are forced between working and caring for our children, and that shouldn't be the case. CAO is a lifeline to many parents, helping us build better futures while giving our children the strong start that they deserve. We're asking our leaders to protect these vital programs for us and our children. And to be honest, there are a lot of families who depend on these programs. Thank you.
Awesome, thank you. We're happy to take questions on topic from any speaker.